Former President Donald Trump is expected to file challenges to decisions to remove him from the ballot in Maine and Colorado as soon as today. The former president is facing efforts to remove him from the ballot in more than a dozen states, in fact. But even some Democrats, including former Obama senior advisor David Axelrod, he's been pretty vocal this political season. Some of them are now warning that trying to remove Donald Trump may not be a good decision.
He's only gained since he started getting indicted. What you thought might be kryptonite for him has turned out to be battery packs. And this is a big one for him. Presumably, the Supreme Court will deal with it fairly quickly. And I expect that they will leave him on the ballot. I have very, very strong reservations about all of this. I do think it would rip the country apart if he were actually prevented from running, because tens of millions of people want to vote for him. I think if you're going to beat Donald Trump, you're going to probably have to do it at the poll.
Let me see. Ways to make Donald Trump a bigger candidate. Try to take him off the ballot. That's listed 9 of 10 times on my list.
Let me tell you, Harris, this is un-American. I agree with Axe 100%. You can't have an unelected bureaucrat in Maine put a major party candidate off the ballot. That is wrong. And let me tell you, we are a nation of laws, not of men. And I disagree with what President Trump did or didn't do, frankly, on January 6th, but he was only indicted. He was not convicted of a crime. So this is a rush to judgment. Let the courts have their day in court. And if that's the case, then we could talk about Colorado and Maine and other states. But until that moment, to have someone, an unelected person in Maine, unilaterally kick him off the ballot, un-American and wrong. And that's why he's going to be able to gain ground in this election.
It's my reading and understanding, Tammy, that of all of the indictments, January 6th actually isn't among those that he faces, specifically with the call for insurrection, as 14th Amendment reads. That's what Democrats are trying to use against him.
Well, what they're using also is emotion. Isn't he supposed to be Hitler? Wouldn't you take
literally Hitler?
You're supposed to be literally Hitler. So you have this unelected bureaucrat hearing this rhetoric, 91 indictments, more than Al Capone. He's Hitler. He's evil. He's destroying the democracy. Let's take him off the ballot. And suddenly it's like, oh no. And because, of course, everything they're responding to, the push of all of this, leads naturally to this action. And then they think, what they thought was the American people would say, we don't want him now because he's a bad man. He's bad. He's the bad man. And Americans said, we see what you're doing. We know what you're doing. We see you. We understand you. And we need this country to get back on her feet. So now they're at a point where this was it's like the last-ditch effort. They realize they failed and that it's not, Americans don't like what they've been seeing. And so I think that when you've got a standard that has been set, it's a standard that has led people to this. It's Democrats who have been operating emotionally from 2020 on, from 2015 on. It's been an emotional base. And this is what it leads to. This is why the party is in trouble, because they have nothing. And thank goodness now people are saying, can't do this. You got to go to the Supreme Court. But the damage that has been done is already significant. And when they say it'll be like chaos, no one will ever trust an election again. This is the danger to democracy.
All right. Senator Ron Johnson is a senator in one of those states that potentially is next in this whole thing. Remember, there are 12 other states. Wisconsin, this senator said this about the Trump ballot ban.
These secretaries of state, these individuals that are doing it, these courts that are pushing these types of measures, that are pushing them off the ballot, they're not getting criticized in the mainstream media by and large, other than the hand-wringing of some of their political operatives who think maybe this won't be helpful in the general election. But by and large, they do this with impunity in terms of public pressure and pressure from the mainstream media, because the mainstream media, by and large, are advocates for the left.
Dagen.
Well, some of these bureaucrats, as you talk about, this particular Secretary of State in Maine, clearly has not been treated for the derangement syndrome that a lot of people on the left are still suffering from. And also maybe, and I'm joking, just to be clear, has a delusional syndrome about seeing herself as a single Supreme Court justice who can just decide as an individual what Section 3 stands for. But in terms of the Supreme Court, it better be a 9-0 ruling.
Exactly.
It better be 9-0. Because if any of those justices vote to remove Trump from the ballot, they do not deserve to sit on that bench. They do not deserve to adjudicate traffic violations. They don't deserve to sit on a park bench if they go the wrong way on this.
Well, and, you know, Kennedy, I guess that leads me to the point of politics on the court, because I think it would be undeniable at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen some surprising 9-0 decisions from them, because I think they are very protective about keeping 9 justices on the Supreme Court. And that's the right number, because when we start talking about, you know, having enough justices to fill a gospel choir, I think that's when we get in trouble in this country. But Patrick is absolutely right. And anyone who's read the Constitution, anyone who respects the rule of law and who is a constitutionalist realizes that this cannot be a mechanism that your enemies can then use against you and your party. It sets an incredibly dangerous precedent, because when someone has not achieved due process, when someone has not been through a court of law and been tried in criminal court and convicted, it really is a very subjective threshold. And the threshold is, I don't like this person, therefore you don't get to make up your own mind. You don't get to use your own facts and the conclusions that you've come to vote the way you want to. And that is incredibly dangerous in this country. If they had done this to Joe Biden, I would have been absolutely sick to my stomach and would not stand for it.
Amen.
There'd be people in the streets, though. I mean, one thing that we're seeing now is it's not just apathy on your side of the aisle. It isn't just that. It is the fact that some people are rooting for this, not even understanding what it does to the republic. I'll give you the last word.
The last word is this, the fact is, this is about America and the rule of law. And if he is convicted, which he hasn't been, he's just been indicted, if he's convicted, that's a different analysis for the U.S. Supreme Court to make that decision on. And I don't care if it's 5-4 or 9-0, whatever it is, let them do it. But let's follow the Constitution. Let's follow the rule of law. Let's follow American principles and not have a rush of judgment here.
Well, why won't Democrats do that, though?
Well, we'll see.
Okay, well, they started the party. Now they're like 2 states today. We'll find out. Trump will push against that. We'll follow every moment of the story of trying to keep him off the ballot.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.